Haha. Yesterday I was in an actual blab where they were asking people if you could summarize 2015 in one word, what would it be? And then, what word would you choose to want to summarize 2016 at the end of the year? The word I had for this year, summarize, was uncomfortable. Because I did a lot of different things, and there was a lot of change, and there was a lot to go through. And for 2016, I figured that I would pick the word habit, because what I'm about to start on January 1st. In the comments, I'd love to hear your answer to my question of what word would you give 2015 and what word would you hope to give 2016 at the end this time next year. And also, what promises are you making to yourself right now of goals you want to do, of things you're aiming at? What is all this? What are you curious? What are you doing with your time? Why? What are you doing that's awesome and creative and interesting to you, not just to me? I want to hear what's interesting to you. There were a few uncomfortable things that happened to me this year. The first one that happened to me was this place. 6-month renovation procedure to get this place up. That was different. That was uncomfortable. Second uncomfortable thing was the hike I took in the Adirondacks, which was my third hike, which was 9.5 hours long. The third uncomfortable thing was family separation between my parents. And I think the fourth uncomfortable thing was just the monotonous of adulthood, sort of. You sort of start to feel like you can get stuck in a rut. We really do all face major life changes in varying degrees of difficulty, of intensity. It comes in waves, I think. That's at least how I feel about it. Permanence is a constant that we all face. We all face change. My favorite analogies from riding the subway with Heidi, which I made a YouTube video on before, I can link that below, is the idea that we all get wet. We all get wet by the water of impermanence, but we all swim differently in it. And I think the awareness of ourselves is the key to responding well to that. To just be able to accomplish that. With that awareness, we can see our own conditioning and how we respond to situations, and then we can learn how to make mistakes and how to grow and change and sort of flow with the impermanent. Instead of doing the bucket of awesome like I did last year, I actually did a journal with a page every single day, and that way I can actually go back and reread my exact thoughts and pull out little moments from that instead of little index card window moments. My first New Year's resolutions video that I made was a walk and talk. I actually talked about sticking to resolving disharmony and stripping away the things that are in your way, the barriers that keep you from accomplishing what you want to accomplish. And that all has to do with this Zen Habits method and how our mind movie, the ideals that we have up here in our head, tend to get in the way of what we want to do and prevent us from accomplishing. Our ideals and expectations don't match reality. The Zen Habits method is a framework for responding to situations. So I'm going to share that with you right now. So step 1 is called Spotlight. Be mindfully in the present moment. Notice everything around you. Ground yourself in reality and see what is, and then go from there. With that present moment, with that stillness that comes with being mindful, is step 2. Plum blossoms. See everything as change, impermanence, and embrace the impermanence. See change happening. Despite how slow it happens for us, clouds are not static. Right? Everything's changing. Embrace the impermanent. Those 2 steps are probably the hardest steps out of the entire Zen Habits method. I'm going to be using this book as I go into the new year with some of the new habits that I want to start. Step number 3 is called Create a Space. Deal with things as they come, one at a time. A lot of habits are easier to tackle when they're created and they're nurtured in an environment where those habits flourish, such as an exercise room for exercise, big wide open spaces, someplace you can run, someplace you can have food, kitchen where you can cook. Habits are nurtured in environments that complement the sort of goals that you're trying to achieve. This is my favorite because it really is the heart of every single problem that we have. The mind movie is step number 4. Don't be attached to ideals and to expectations. And I've said this even before I read this. I've said no expectations. That's because the more your mind movie mismatches reality, the more resistance you can create. And you can't really use the present moment as a friend, as something you can utilize. It really becomes an obstacle to overcome and something you have to fight and resist. And that doesn't help. It's like flowing against the river instead of with it. Childish mind wants comfort, everything. It wants to complain. It thinks negativity is going to get it what it wants. It's a childish mind, and we all have one. Step number 5 is called Grow a Plant. Focus on intentions without attachment to outcomes. When you focus on intentions, you focus on what you're planting and what you're giving the seed to nurture it. You're not immediately focused on results. Wanting a seed to grow into a plant immediately doesn't happen unless you focus on how you're nurturing it. The childish mind, let go of the self that wants the ideals. Let go of the self that wants everything to be perfect, that believes that it's this way and it should be this way and it shouldn't be this way and this should be that. It's all about letting go of control and just accepting reality and enjoying that reality as well. You really can only enjoy it as much as you accept it. The childish mind wants to get what it wants and thinks that it's all important. Instead, let it complain, but don't take it seriously. Take it as seriously as a noisy child running around a room and your ability to just say, hey, There's the childish mind in all of us. Step number 7 is to see the mountains, embrace the beauty of the moment, and find gratitude and appreciation for it. Look at what's right in front of you, find things to appreciate about your current reality, about the change you're undergoing, and about the opportunities that come with this change. Finding gratitude in the midst of impermanence, that's the key. And then step number 9 is called the do-like life. Life is precious, so don't waste a moment of wishing things were different. Focus on the past, wallowing in self-pity. Instead, make most of each moment and appreciate one for the wonder that it is. It's really neat. There's a lot of overlap in the steps that Leo talks about, but what's really interesting, he explains, is they're really another way of seeing the same exact thing over and over again. Mindfully see your ideal in the childish mind that wants the ideal, and the suffering that results from wanting the ideal, the resistance you're creating between reality and the mismatch of your mind movie. The childish mind wants something, and you can't have it immediately, so instead of focusing on results, you just have to let that go. Let go of the attachment and focus on what is in front of you. Embrace the changing nature of life, appreciate what you have, find gratitude for every moment in this two-leg life, even the difficult ones, even the learning opportunities, when you can turn pain, right? You can turn pain and suffering into enlightenment, into greatness. You can learn from it. That's the message for dealing with major life changes. The spotlight of mindfulness is my favorite because it's just talking about that. Without mindfulness, you won't be able to see the childish mind or your mind movie. You won't have that awareness. You'll forget to have appreciation and gratitude. You won't remember to have good intentions, and you won't see your attachments to outcomes or ideals. That's why awareness is the key, especially in moments of frustration, in moments where your patience is tested. Pay attention to your patience during challenging times and your attitude during the average, common, peaceful time. So, how can you use this? What can you use the Zen Habits method with? Any major life change or any small change that you have, the biggest part is I'm going to be using this. You can watch leadership videos. You can read along on the blog. I'm going to start with this because blogging every day, if I can write in a journal every day, I can blog every day, no problem. You can join along and you can start small. Just one small change, layered after another. That's why my word for 2016 is habit. I'm going to be using this to implement habits. Exercise is one, because shape of my people. Cooking, writing, reading, exercise. I've got a few in mind. You can check out the resources on habits.com. You can read this book. There's an uncopyright notice in the front of it. You can share all of this as much as you want. Find moderation and remove the barriers to peace. You can learn to let go of that childish mind and mind movie. Really, what's the benefits of doing this, though? Like, what illustrated world would we live in where we're able to respond well? First of all, you begin to thrive on slow change. You thrive on small adjustments and things over a long period of time, like you're investing in something, your intention. The present moment isn't an obstacle. It's something you flow with. You flow like water around rocks, and you carve and you weave and you adapt. You don't get stuck. Your resistance melts to what is, and your awareness to what is and appreciation and gratitude for it grows. That's why one of my favorite quotes from John Green is that gratitude is the proper response to being a part of this crazy, sprawling story that we call life. Attitude of gratitude. So this was a fantastic year for me. It was full of a lot of change, but it was full of a lot of growth, because growth is change and change is growth. I'm living in a new place. I'm more independent. I've got a job. I've got a car. I went fishing, hiking. I skied this year. I traveled a little bit more around New York State. I met my grandparents on my mom's side of the family, which I thought that would never ever happen. I went to VidCon, met a lot of great people there, connected with great friends. I joined Blab. Blab is fantastic. You should check out Blab. It's amazing. There's an amazing community forming on Blab right now in the beta version. You should definitely hop on that if you're really interested in live streaming and making connections. Found a Blab on Book Club. I've started YouTube. I just hit 500 subscribers, so I think I just passed it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's not about the numbers. It's about the people behind the numbers. I'm still singing in choirs very, very often and visiting concerts and seeing concerts at my high school. I helped record a bit of a TED event. I was part of a Guinness Book of World Record for the largest serving of mashed potatoes. What? Bro-tatoes. All the YouTube communities I've been a part of this year, We Create EDU, Nerd Fighters Info, 365 Nerds Reboot is possible for coming up next year. There's a lot happening, and there's a lot to be grateful for. We have a lot of stuff to solve, a lot of problems that we're creating that we still need to solve, but we got a lot to be grateful for. Life's good. I'm going to put some links to some things in the doobly-doo below if you want to hop along and join my little journey. Project Chronicle, friends and I are going to be trying to vlog again, and I've also kerned, that makes sense. I've also coined the channel PalkaDots to try to vlog again and just turn on the tap and get creative and challenge myself. And that's all I have. So I hope you've had a wonderful holiday, and I hope you have a wonderful roundup and countdown to the ball and all of the things. I never know how to end these, and as always, thank you for watching, keep being you, and as I got from a Christmas present from somebody, DFTBA.